Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Afrinesh Amanat and today I will teach you about arthritis. Gout is marked by transient attacks of acute arthritis initiated by crystallization of urates within and about the joints. It can be primary or secondary to some underlying disease. The common feature is excessive uric acid in the tissues and body fluids. Primary form occurs in 90% of the cases and cause is unknown. It usually involves the greater toe. Primary gout is due to the overproduction of uric acid due to increased intake in diet, partial deficiency of AGPRT or reduced excretion. Secondary gout occurs in 10% of the cases and it is due to increased cell turnover like in leukemias or other aggressive neoplasms or due to complete AGPRT deficiency. The other cause is chronic renal disease. Hyperuricemia, plasma urate level above 6.8 mg per deciliter is necessary but not sufficient for the development of gout. The synthesis of uric acid is end product of purine catabolism. Involves two pathways, one is de novo pathway and the other is salvage pathway. These are the two pathways shown in this diagram. The end result is the production of uric acid and here is the role of AGPRT. Excretion occurs through the distal nephrons and ultimately in the urine. In primary gout, elevated uric acid most commonly results from reduced excretion, the basis of which is unknown. Partial deficiency of AGPRT interrupts the salvage pathway and complete absence of AGPRT also results in hyperuricemia. However, it is put in the category of secondary gout because the neurological manifestations are more common. These are called Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. It is characterized by mental retardation, aggressive behavior and learning disabilities. They may be due to dependence of the brain on salvage pathway and nephrolithiasis can occur. Lips and fingers are bitten, excessive uric acid production, self-mutilation, chorioathetosis and AGPRT deficiency. Secondary gout is caused by increased production, increased cell turnover during chemotherapy for leukemias called tumor lysis syndrome. The pathogenesis is shown in this diagram. Hyperuricemia results in precipitation of urate crystals in the joints, which activates complement. On the other hand, they are phagocytosed by macrophages. There is activation of inflammasome, release of interleukin 1b and release of leukotriene B4, prostaglandins and free radicals, which result in neutrophil chemotaxis. The neutrophils phagocytose the crystals and undergo lysis and release the lysosomal enzymes. The interleukin 1b in turn causes secretion of chemokines and other cytokines, which acts on the joint, causes release of proteases and ultimate result is tissue injury and inflammation. Interleukin 1 is pro-inflammatory and promotes accumulation of more neutrophils and macrophages in the joint. Some of the other factors include age of the patient, genetic predisposition, heavy alcohol consumption, obesity, certain drugs like thiazides and lead toxicity. Morphology: acute arthritis is characterized by dense inflammatory infiltrate that permeates the synovium and synovial fluid. Urate crystals are seen as small clusters in the cytoplasm of neutrophils. They are long, cylinder and needle shaped. Please remember they are negatively birefringent. This can be asked in multiple choice questions. Synovium is congested and contains inflammatory infiltrate. In the figure B, you can see gouty tophus, aggregate of dissolved urate crystals surrounded by reactive fibroblasts. This is the crystal which is surrounded by inflammatory infiltrate, and here you can see they are negatively birefringent under polarized light. Chronic tophaceous arthritis results from repetitive attacks of acute uh, uh, arthritis, acute gouty arthritis. The crystals encrust articular surface and form chalky deposits in the synovium. The synovium becomes hyperplastic and can form a pannus that destroys the cartilage. Tophi can occur in the articular cartilage, ligaments, tendon and bursae, and they are pathognomic of gout. They are basically large aggregations of urate crystals surrounded by foreign body giant cell reaction. Gouty nephropathy is another complication, and ultimately the uric acid nephrolithiasis, stone formation in the kidney can occur. This is the gross picture of the first toe, and here you can appreciate the formation of tophi. Clinical course: it is associated with male sex, obesity, metabolic syndrome, alcohol intake, renal failure, and age greater than 30 years. 4 clinical stages: asymptomatic hyperuricemia, acute arthritis, asymptomatic intercritical period, and chronic phase. Acute arthritis is characterized by excruciating joint pain, redness, warmth. It is monoarticular and occurs in the first metatarsophalangeal joint. There is complete resolution. Intercritical period, there is resolution of acute arthritis and there is symptom free interval. In the absence of appropriate therapy, the attack recurs at decreasing intervals and frequently becomes polyarticular. This is called asymptomatic intercritical period. Chronic tophaceous gout develops about 12 years after the initial acute attack. Here there is loss of joint space. Treatment includes symptomatic treatment, NSAIDs, and lowering the urate levels by drugs and lifestyle modification. Pseudogout, calcium pyrophosphate crystal deposition disease, CPPD, also known as pseudogout and chondrocalcinosis. It is one of the more common disorders associated with intra-articular crystal formation. Occurs over 50 years of age. It is divided into idiopathic, hereditary, and secondary types. There is germline mutation in the pyrophosphate transport channel resulting in crystal deposition and arthritis. Various joint conditions are also responsible. The crystals deposit in articular cartilage, menisci, and intervertebral discs. They can rupture and can seed the joint. The crystals are chalky white, but on H&E they appear purple-blue aggregates. Here you can see the crystals are rhomboid in shape. This is a smear preparation of the joint fluid, and this is the H&E picture, and you can see the crystals appear as amorphous basophilic material, and please remember they are positively bifringent. In pseudogout, the crystals are positively bifringent, while in gout they are negatively bifringent. Juvenile idiopathic arthritis. It presents before the age of 16 years and persists for 6 weeks. It usually mimics rheumatoid arthritis, but there are some differences. Rheumatoid nodules and rheumatoid factor are absent. However, the anti-nuclear antibody seropositivity is common. Other differences include oligoarthritis is more common, systemic disease is more frequent, and large joints are affected than the smaller joints. Risk factors include HLE and PTP and 22 variants. Treatment is similar to rheumatoid arthritis. Seronegative spondyloarthropathies. These are heterogeneous group of disorders that share some common features. Absence of rheumatoid factor, pathological changes in ligamentous attachments rather than the synovium, involvement of sacroiliac joints with or without other joints, association with HLE-B27, and fusion of the joints. These all manifestations are immune mediated. Ankylosing spondylitis. It affects the spine. Symptoms include pain and stiffness from the neck down to the lower back. The vertebrae may grow or fuse together, resulting in rigid spine. It is the prototypical spondyloarthritis. The cause is destruction of articular cartilage and bony alkalosis, especially of the sacroiliac joint. Involvement of the peripheral joints occurs in at least 1/3 of the affected individuals. Individuals are HLA-B27 positive. B27 allele contributes to the disease is not known. Reactive arthritis, it is characterized by the triad of conjunctivitis, urethritis and arthritis. Affected individuals are men in their 20s or 30s. It is basically autoimmune reaction initiated by previous infection of the genitourinary system or gastrointestinal tract. Ankles, knees and feet are affected more often. And affected individuals may have spine involvement indistinguishable from ankylosing spondylitis. Infectious arthritis. Suppurative arthritis, it is mostly caused by hematogenous spread. In neonates, contiguous spread can also occur. Children younger than 2 years of age have underlying Haemophilus influenza infection which can cause arthritis. In older children and adults, Staph aureus is responsible, and gonococcus is prevalent during late adolescence and young adulthood. It is important multiple choice question. Individuals with sickle cell disease are prone to infection with salmonella. Joint aspiration is diagnostic if it yields purulent fluid in which the causative agent can be identified, and prompt treatment should be done in order to avoid the joint destruction. Lyme arthritis, it is caused by infection with spirochete Borrelia burgdorferi, which is transmitted by the deer ticks of Ixodes ricinus complex. It is characterized by 3 phases: early localized stage, early disseminated stage and the late stage in which the Lyme arthritis develops. It occurs in less than 10% of the cases because the patients are cured at an earlier stage. If left untreated, 60 to 80% of the individuals develop migratory arthritis. And spirochetes can be identified in 25% of the joints with arthritis, but diagnosis can be confirmed by serological testing for anti-Borrelia antibodies. The chronic manifestations can include non-specific symptoms known collectively as the post-treatment Lyme disease syndrome, PTLDS. Thank you, class. This is the end of your lectures of bone and joints.